Matthew, I'm very excited to see your art review process in Favro. Take it away.
Thanks, Patrick. So our art director oversees quite a few sub-teams. These range from character art to environment art to animation. I'm presenting here a much more stripped-back demo board, just to give you the rough overview of the concept. But in the process of our actual workflow, the art director has as many as 4 or 5 lanes. So as you can imagine, that would take quite a lot of headspace trying to keep track of all of the review stages for all of the different teams. So this system we developed was a way to automate it and also simplify it for everyone. So the process is the same across every sub team. So the character art pipeline, environment art pipeline, all of these boards get set up in the same way, so the automations all work the same. So it's very smooth and nothing gets lost in the shuffle. And we've tried to keep it very simple for everyone involved. So it takes advantage of the things Kanbans in Favro do really well already, which is these very clear organizational layouts they give you. So on each board, once a team member will pick up a task, take that in to progress. Once they progress on that task, they drop that in their ready to review column. What happens then is a few automations and a Slack integration. So the automation sends that card to the character review stream of the art director's review board, and then we have a Slack integration that will then give the art director a notification. We also have automation set up on the live boards. I haven't set them up here because it's hard to demo, but if a card sits in any of the review columns on any of the lanes for more than a day, that will send another reminder to the art director to look. Basically, it's just a way for him to not have to keep any of this in his headspace. He can trust that if there is anything needed to be done, he'll be made aware of it. Or as part of his morning routine, he'll check this board and do any art review process that he wanted to do. One of the problems we wanted to tackle with this setup was kind of the iterative process. As I'm sure everyone listening to this in the games industry knows, it's a implicitly iterative process. It's very rarely that you will have a piece of any art asset or code or what have you go through a pipeline without any iterative steps. So the way we approached tackling this problem was when our art director has reviewed a concept and he has some feedback that he'd like to give, he moves it into the reviewed column, and then we have some tags preset for him. One of them is AD rework. So if he tags a card in the reviewed column, there's the AD rework tag. It will then automatically send it back to the board where it came from and put it back into the progress column of the board. It also messages any of the members of that board, members of that card, that this asset has been reviewed and feedback is available. So obviously in our live environment, the art director would have gone into the card and added any feedback into the comments and any other information the artist needs. And this works. One of the things we like about this is this works kind of in a multi-team approach. So each team has their own board, and it all gets automatically sorted and sent back. So it's a big reduction in headspace for the art director in terms of like if he wants to send something back for review, it's the same in each board, or the same for each team. All he has to just remember to do one thing, and then all of the automations in Favro take care of all of that. So as you can see there, the environment asset work one goes back into the review progress. So then let's just say they execute on the feedback given. This time, the art director is actually happy. He's happy to call that asset done. He puts it back into the review column and puts it as AD done. Then that will automatically send that to the done column of the asset board in particular. And then we have from there various, like, what do we want to do with, what does it mean for something to be done obviously is board dependent. So if it's one board that is part of a pipeline, the done column would automatically put that card into the next board of the pipeline. But if it's just kind of the end point of a process, it'll just archive that card after a certain amount of time. Our art director has found this very useful, and yeah, I hope anyone listening does as well.
This is very useful. And, from, from the side of being involved in making the product, I'm super happy to see that you're not only taking advantage of the kind of, the flow-based capabilities of Favro, but also the automations and the Slack integration. Thank you so much for sharing. This is very useful. And, if anyone being inspired by this and working, a bit more in this way, there's some pretty big benefits to this. So, again, super thanks.
No problem.